Hello, Red Wave. This is Beware of Bulldogs podcast. We are your hosts, Caleb Nail and Caleb Pletz. The Dogs are 4-0, ranked in the top 25. Mr. Pletz, how are you feeling today, man?
You know, it's always a great day after a Fresno State victory, and we've said that for 13 weeks in a row, so I cannot complain. It was a dominant victory for Fresno State. Definitely a performance that we've been expecting from this team, especially against a team that the Dogs should handle. So yeah, overall, really good game, and it was a beautiful evening too. I mean, it was in the maybe high 70s, low 80s, and a comfortable game where we were never in doubt. So yeah, overall, great day, great weekend.
Dogs beat Kent State Golden Flashes 53-10. Who did we play? Man, it was domination. It was great. It was great to see you. The Dogs were kind of in a lose-lose situation because we're supposed to do that. But either way, we did it. We are live on Twitter and YouTube. So hit subscribe if you are not subscribed, because I know a lot of you on YouTube are not subscribed. I see the numbers. So hit subscribe, comment down below, hit the like button, whatever you do down there on YouTube, go ahead and do that. If you're on Twitter, this is for everyone that's on Twitter and hasn't been able to comment. I spent two and a half days trying to figure this out, and everything said it was okay. So I'm sorry. I don't know exactly what's going on. I think I need to get in contact with Elon to be completely honest, because I don't know what's going on. But if you want to say something and you are in dire need to tell us something, head over to YouTube. Beware of Bulldogs. We should be there. And we'll be live. Hop in the chat and let us know. Today, the plan of attack, Caleb, is social media responses. So we're going to get to all of your responses over on social media and in the chat. We're going to get to our play of the game. We're going to get to our Beware of Bulldogs player of the game. And we're going to go through all the stats. I mean, we touch everything on these recaps at Beware of Bulldogs. So first off, thank you guys. This is the official fan podcast of Fresno State Athletics. By the fans, for the fans. That's what we say over here. Caleb and we're fans first. That's what we are. We don't sit in any press box. We drink with the fans. We yell with the fans. That's what this is all about. Honestly, it's the best way to do it. It's so fun. All right, you can follow us on X, Beware_Bulldogs, on Instagram at Beware Bulldogs Podcast. And I talked about YouTube. We are a little late today. I'm sorry. That was my fault. Family photos, Caleb. We got
the fall shoot is releasing soon.
I guess so. I just do what the wife tells me. When it comes to those things, I just do what they tell me. All right, let's get into some of your responses first. Let's start with there was a lot, by the way. You guys surprise me every week. I shouldn't be surprised. You guys surprise me every week, though, with the amount of interaction we get from you guys. Unbelievable. You guys are amazing. Row HLK. So I just read your guys' profile name. So, a complete game by the Dogs, total dominance, 9 more times, Mountain West Conference title, and a New Year's 6 is in our future. That's true. Randy, who you ran into at the game, I believe, Caleb?
I did.
Randy Price. He says, Pat McCann had a heyday. Play calling was super fun to watch. Dang near perfect game. What do you think about the play calling?
I don't know if it was just better play calling or better execution. Because overall, I mean, Fresno State didn't punt today or last night, which is definitely a win, because that means we're converting, on third downs, on fourth downs, and, scoring. So I think that there were a lot of really good calls, and I think Coach McCann is finding his groove. So I think this is kind of what the non-conference, slate is for, to try to, work out the, inconsistencies in the offense, figure out the personnel, and, make sure that when it gets time to conference play and, the games that are most important, that, the right players are on the field, and, the coaching staff has a good feel for, what plays he should be calling.
Yeah. On my end, Caleb, I'm not seeing the stream chat for YouTube, so I pulled up YouTube. So what's up, everybody? I was wondering. There's no way our Bobs are not here. They are here. What's going on, guys? Good evening. They say Bulldogs Bob says to all you people on Twitter, get in the YouTube chat. And we're ranked 25th. And Jesus is in here of East Los Angeles. And once again, he says, when will Damian Moore be cleared to play? Don't have any insight into that. Hopefully soon. Was Matt Mintz was I the only one that was nervous for the first 6 minutes or so? Didn't seem like we could stop them on defense. I want to get to that in a second. We'll come back to that. Let's get back to social media. We have dominant win. Then we have Jalen Moss, and I see it in the YouTube chat as well. Jalen Moss is a beast. The one-handed catch, foreshadowing maybe a play of the game. He was excellent. Tyler carries. Rank us or we riot. We are ranked. No need to riot in Fresno anymore, or wherever, or the AP poll. I believe the coaches didn't have us ranked, but the AP poll had us 25.
Yep.
Offense and defense, great game. Delford, best group of 5 team going into week 5. Yes, we are the only group of 5 team ranked in the top 25. I am going to talk about the ranking and some things and my thoughts on it. I hope I don't make too many people mad, but I have a couple thoughts that, anyways. Rob Brown finally dominated a game we were supposed to dominate. Let's do it again next week. And Caleb, I believe your sister-in-law has hopped in the chat and said, I'm ready to see Caleb Pletz dancing because your Everybody Dance Now hit.
It did hit.
And sneak peek, or I should tell everyone, I did get a video last night of Caleb in the stadium dancing. So that will go up this week. I'll make sure that everyone sees that. I'm gonna make sure that goes up on YouTube as well, Caleb. We'll get a YouTube short up. So you're gonna be going viral soon. It was
perfect.
It was actually good. I was impressed, man.
I kept it short and sweet. I figured, better to actually do the dance in the stadium after the victory than, try to do it somewhere else during the week. So just got it out of the way. And I'm glad I had to dance because I didn't think this Fresno State offense was going to score 7 touchdowns, let alone it was the first 7 drives of the game. They scored touchdowns. So I definitely did not expect that, but really, really good surprise.
Diego Hunting Slugs says, good to see the offensive line pass block versus an inferior D line. Yes, I think that was one of my keys to the game, was dominating in the trenches. And this was the opportunity to, 1, do that, and 2, by doing that, build confidence. Huge. There were a couple snaps, but it's going to happen. Offensive line looked so much better. It was a different offensive line this game than we have seen in the past. Moving over to the X. Single-use plastic. Everything we wanted. Looked like a well-oiled machine going into conference play. Should be ranked next week. Still waiting on your kick return, Caleb. Me too. It's going to happen, though. I will say I did like what I saw from Jalen Gill in the return game this week. It was better than what I'd seen in the past. It looked like he had some energy and some explosiveness, more explosiveness than I have seen in the past. So I was really happy. It's going to happen. A lot of comments about first complete game we've seen this year. Mm-hmm. Classic Joe has only one thing to say: sell out Bulldog Stadium next week. Okay, we are talking about that exactly when the game started. We're texting back and forth because we sit on opposite sides of the stadium. It was good. It was great. Mm-hmm. And especially for Kent State lower I would say, lower level FBS program. Of course, we'd like to see the red seats filled up a little more, but we did break a record. The students sold the most tickets ever in stadium history. So that's huge. And I talked to some people at church today, said it was wild in the student section. They were in there. I didn't ask any more questions because we were at church, but they said it was wild. So
Yeah, I think
yeah,
this win was good for continuing the momentum in terms of attendance. And I think one of my concerns is that, obviously next week against Nevada, they're towards the bottom of the Mountain West. I don't think it's a name that's going to just naturally draw a big crowd to former Bulldog Stadium. So I think it's still going to take probably a couple more victories and probably a big matchup at home against Boise in early November to really get a legit sellout. So I would expect, it should be pretty similar next week in terms of numbers, just because the team's 4-0, we're ranked now, but in terms of, opponent quality, Nevada is still on the rebuild, and I don't know if that's enough to, really pull in maybe some of the less informed fans, but I'm looking at, November 4th against Boise. Probably shouldn't look this far ahead, but that's probably where I think it could be a legitimate sellout. But hopefully the momentum continues, next week, and Dogs go to 5-0 against the Wolfpack.
Yeah, that would be huge. What did you think about Boots and Buckles? I thought it was great. I know. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I think it was fun. There was a lot of participation, probably more than I expected, in terms of people actually wearing hats and boots and buckles. So I think it was fun. And probably a good time of year to do it too, where the weather was really nice. And yeah, overall I think it was fun. A lot of people wearing the free hats around the stadium, which I think is good. And one of the things that we kind of harp on sometimes is that sometimes you just have to do some kind of giveaway type things to maybe get some new people in the crowd or to the game. So I think that was good. So overall I think that was a marketing win.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to add something to that. Not only just a giveaway, but a theme that people can participate in, male and female. Because the females love putting on their boots and things as well. So something that everyone can participate in, I thought was great. And I mean, there were people going to that game. Like my father-in-law went to the game, and they don't usually go to games. They went to the game and they're happy to participate. I love that. So as if there's a team that we can interact with, I think that's even better. Mike Pletz, Caleb, I know you know him. Lots of good plays on both sides of the ball. Got to see our depth at multiple position groups. Yeah, we'll get to that. I'll say that. We'll get to that. Randy Buller thought it was a well-played game in all phases. As we start league play, what games are the toughest? Which teams are real and not real? Let's start with the first question, Caleb. What games are the toughest? You can pick 2 games on the schedule. Toughest games.
Definitely Boise State at home. Dogs are still trying to kick the Boise curse. So that's always going to be the concerning game. And then,
you think so? You think we're still trying to kick the Boise curse?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think it takes a couple wins to really get that out of here. So, and I don't think San Jose is going to be tough. San Diego, I don't think they're going to be tough. And between Wyoming and Utah State, I don't really know which. I think both are going to be challenging. So I think I'll probably just take.
Sure.
I think I'm going to go Utah State just because it's a short week, back-to-back road trips. So yeah, I'll take Utah State. I think that's Friday in 2 weeks, and then this might two.
I'm taking Wyoming for sure, and I will say, and I agree with Boise State. I think that's the next one. I'll say this about Nevada, and we'll talk about it in our preview. They gave Kansas a game. We can't look over Nevada, so watch out there. Which teams are real and not real? I'm going to say the real team is Wyoming, and the not real team. You guys may. Let me put it this way. I thought San Jose State was going to do a lot more damage than they have done currently, but And granted, they have played a very tough schedule. I think USC, Oregon State, Air Force, but they hung with Air Force in the first half, but they're not real now. So I guess everyone sees they're not real. I thought they were going to be real. Who knows? Maybe they're just tricking us because they've had a very tough schedule. And I will say, Air Force has surprised me tremendously. I did not want to believe in them. They look very good. I see you smiling.
On San Jose, I mean, this week, San Jose State's on a bye. The next week, they're taking on Boise. So, I mean, that's a very losable game for them. And San Jose would be looking at a 1-5 record at that point. So, just at that point, you're wondering how bought in the team still is, and if they're still gonna really get fired up for every matchup. But yeah, I agree. Air Force looks dangerous, and it's a team I'm glad that Fresno State isn't having to face in the regular season because it's just always tough to go up against a team with that type of running attack.
Yeah, and this is going to lead me into my topic that I want to get to, Caleb. And you guys let me know. I could take it, but one of the teams that may not be real is us. I hate to say that, but we have played a very easy schedule. I think we've come out of it after we did what we were supposed to do against Kent State. Everyone knows, we could play. Our defense is very good, but we haven't seen us play, I would say, a legitimate team or contender, like a Mountain West contender. Purdue is not. They're looking like they're not that good this year. Arizona State gave USC a game, but just so everyone knows, their play caller was changed. I think Dillingham took over play calling this week.
He did. Yeah.
Drew Pine played the entire game, I believe. So there's that. And then we played Eastern Washington FCS school and Kent State, who's struggling right now. So could we be a pretender? I hope not. And I think we're working our way out of that. I know it's coming in the chat. I haven't looked at it yet because we're still going through social media, but I'll get there. So I'm hoping it's not us, but there is a scenario where I think there's a conversation for that. To be honest. All right. Curtis Haar says first 7 possessions, 7 touchdowns. Caleb's got to dance because of that. Great job in all facets of the game. Love the balanced play calling. Excited to make my way over to Fresno from the Bay Area for next week's game or next week's conference opener. Let's keep it rolling. Go Dogs.
Sweet.
What was that, Caleb?
Just saying, awesome. Glad he's making the trip next week.
Yeah, there you go. You're just talking about. We were talking about packing the stadium. It's going to happen. And Tom Sasoyev dominating, which they should have done. Only thing I'm worried about is stopping those long runs from pesky little running backs. We have one of those coming up in Jainty with Boise State. Who did Boise play again? San Diego State. They could not tackle him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was
he was very, very dangerous.
Yeah. I think it was a little bit of both of Jainty being very good. I think he's very good, not taking anything away from him, but also San Diego State could not tackle at all. They look scared of him. Our defense is not scared of anyone. We will hit people. All right. Let me get to you guys and see what people are saying. Last night, Chuck B says last night proved we never need to do a whiteout ever again.
Very good point. And yeah, I mean, look at the uniforms that we wore, all reds, as we would traditionally. And look what happened. We took care of business. So yeah, I think we need to just get rid of the overthinking of the jerseys and just wear the home reds and take care of business.
Mm-hmm. Bob says, if we beat Wyoming, will you feel better? Yes, for sure. Bobby Hernandez says, I think it's our mental game that needs the work. We have good talent, but they need to stay away from the hype, i.e. Colorado. They got absolutely blasted by Oregon, but Oregon's very good. I think that's true. I'm a 100% believer in that most sports are more mental than physical. And if we can do that, that's going to be great. Because last season or 2 seasons ago, we were ranked in the top 25 twice. And both times, I believe, was it the following game? We lost.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can avoid that, that would be great. And then Robert Perez has a little argument for me. It's hard to do what we've done. You're right. Those teams are not great, but what we have done is very difficult to do. Yes, I do believe that. Going 4-0, shutting out an ASU P5 Pac-12 team, that is tough. And then putting the beat down on Kent State, that is tough. So yes, I don't want to take anything away from the team. I'm just praying that we continue these winning ways and that. Anyways. All right. Andrew Rez says, that's true, Robert. You can only beat who's on the schedule. True. We're doing our job.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you guys for putting those out there. It's always fun to see what you guys have to say. Let's go by the numbers, Caleb, on what happened as it loads on my screen. Okay, here we go. Mikey Keene. Mikey Keene had a great game. I thought Mikey Keene improved a lot. There's a couple times where, he struggles to get the ball down the field or throws it behind, but that's going to happen. 24 for 31, 325 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks, sacked 0 times. Awesome. I really liked what Mikey Keene did this last game. By the way, Logan Fife went 1 for 2 for 13 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions, though. And then Jalen Gill also had a pass for 32 yards and a touchdown on a great trick play.
Mm-hmm.
And he tossed that to Gilliam. Let's talk about Mikey Keene first.
Yeah, this was a very good game. I mean, he put the ball where it needed to be and, didn't try to do too much. I think that the Fresno State receiving corps did a really good job of getting open. And like we mentioned earlier, I think McCann is kind of finding his groove here in terms of play calling. So overall, we definitely saw like the Mikey that we're expecting and kind of that we saw in game 1 against Purdue. So yeah, overall, very pleased with it. Still do have some concerns about arm strength. It seems like if he is pressured at all, it's definitely affecting his ability to drive the ball down the field. If he's has a clean pocket, can really step into it, then he delivers a much better ball, which I guess you could probably say that for pretty much every quarterback. But it seems especially noticeable with Mikey that he's not able to just kind of flick the wrist and get it there. He really needs to get his whole body into it. So that's a concern. But he did throw a really nice deep ball to Eric Brooks to open the game for a touchdown. That was a really nice play. So yeah, he is showing that he should be the one that's out there throwing.
Yeah, I was really happy. I think Mikey got better this game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to see. Each week I want to see our guys get better. I think Mikey got better. I think Jalen Moss got better. We'll get to the receivers in a second. Speaking of quarterbacks, the first, I'll just call it point after attempt, we lined up in a formation where you kind of reading where they line up, and Logan Fife had it snapped to him. And I think it was they were kind of like manned up 3-on-3, and he ran it in for a 2-point conversion. I love that. You get what you want, snap it, go. And Logan Fife is a perfect guy to do that. Tough. He's going to try and run through people, get that extra inch. And he didn't need to do that on display, by the way. But I was stoked for that. Oh my gosh. This is what we wanted to see. I think that the team's getting better. There's confidence. Put away Kent State early. We started fast. We started fast the past couple games, just we slow down. But we started fast this game and didn't look back. And I think it really helped our momentum going for 2, Logan Fife running it in. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, and I think part of starting early was third down conversions, and that's something that the Dogs did really well on. And I was looking at the team stats. I mean, the Dogs had, I think, 27 total first downs, which is a lot. And I mean, that's just demoralizing for the other team when your drive just keeps going and then you end up punching it in for a touchdown. So yeah, I think that all of that together, made for, part of the beatdown on Kent State.
Yeah. And Bobby adds, our O-line got better as well. I was talking about Mikey getting better. Yeah. I think every facet of this team got better. I would say everybody got better. Let's talk rushing stats. Malik Sherrod was back. He led the team in carries with 10. He netted 71 yards. Elijah Gilliam ran the ball 7 times for 25 and had 2 touchdowns on the ground, along with his trick play reception. Jonathan Arsenault carried the ball 4 times for 16 yards. Devin Rivers carried the ball 6 times for 11 yards. And then Logan Fife had 4 carries for 23 yards. The team totaled 143 yards. It sounds a lot better, too, because we didn't have any sacks. And so we don't have to get that loss. I loved what I saw on the ground game. And this is exactly what we need to do against an inferior team. Dominate at the line of scrimmage. We know the O-line is being coached, and I just know Coach Army is emphasizing the run game. This is what we want to see. When you can take advantage of it, do it. Our guys hit the hole, and we're very tough. I thought the vision was good. We looked very good. I was happy with what I saw.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's good to have Sherrod back. I think he makes a big difference in there. Just with his quickness, Gilliam's a really strong physical back, and like he's shown that he's really good on the goal line. And I think that kind of is a really nice weapon for the Fresno State offense to have. But Sherrod just kind of has a different gear that he's able to get into. Getting to an edge and making a move on a linebacker, trying to get him. So definitely good to have him back and kind of be the main feature back. But yeah, Gilliam proved that he is a valuable part of this offense, and I think we read that he was finally put on scholarship this week. So good for him finally earning that from the team, because he definitely deserves that. And I wasn't quite as impressed with the rushing performance, just because early in the game I remember looking up on the scoreboard and the total yardage. I mean, we were over 100 passing and we were 0 rushing, so it was a little slower developing. But as the game wore on, I think that our offensive attack kind of wore down the Kent State defense, which helped help those rushing numbers, because we definitely did not dominate them in the running game, but there was some momentum to, I guess, give us a little bit more hope that we are going to be able to run effectively.
Right. Yes, you are correct. But we did end up with those yards, and I was happy to see. I think it's a boost of confidence, and I'm happy with the boys and what they did there. But yes, you are right. Receiving wise, Jalen Moss led the team in receptions and yards with 7 receptions for 120 yards and 1 touchdown. Eric Brooks, 4 receptions, 79 yards, and a touchdown. Mac Delana got involved with 3 receptions and 67 yards. Elijah Gilliam, 3 receptions, 59 yards, and a touchdown. Jalen Gill also had a touchdown on 3 receptions for 28 yards. We saw Malik Sherrod, 3 receptions, 9 yards. Tim Greer got a reception for 5 yards. Trey Watson had 2 receptions for 3 yards and a tutty. And that looks like, yes, that is it. I'm really happy that Trey got a touchdown, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It was wide open. But we got Mac involved. We haven't seen Mac get involved too much. We got him open, and he's speedy, quick little guy. Get him in open space, he's going to outrun a lot of people, and he did that. I was really happy to see that. And then, Jalen Moss. I mean, no one can guard Eric Brooks. And then Jalen Moss has very sticky hands. The guy's a freshman. He looks so good. I was really happy for Jalen Moss, and I know so was Coach Tedford. He said some good things about him in the press conference. Tell me what you thought about this receiver core.
Yeah, really impressed with Jalen Moss. I know earlier in the day, yesterday, I was watching the Pac-2 championship, and Josh Kelly for Washington State, former Bulldog, was going crazy. I mean, he had a really good game, including a similar catch that Moss had with, catching it around the defender's back, one-handed. And so, that kind of made me miss him. I was like, man, like Josh Kelly was such a good player. But, seeing Jalen Moss's performance, it was like perfect timing. It was like, okay, like we have the next guys. Like, I don't need to worry about the former guys. We can worry about who's on our team. And yeah, this was a really strong performance from Jalen Moss. And I mean, he's kind of living up to what we've been hyping up for. I mean, even the last year, because even last year when he was redshirting, we were hearing like, look, this Jalen Moss kid is going to be the next guy. And yeah, I think this was kind of his, first, breakout game. So really good to see. Dependable target. Should have had 2 touchdowns, but yeah, had the fumble on the goal line that thankfully Gill was able to recover. So should have had 2 total TDs on the day. But yeah, overall, huge game for Moss.
Yeah, and before we get to the defense, Caleb, Randall Buller mentions it's strange to see us in different places here. There's a method to our madness now, just so everyone knows. Caleb Pletz is now in charge of clicking record so that it records on better internet rather than here. By the way, everyone, we're 4-0, and I know some people say keep the G5 Wi-Fi, Caleb, but we're top 25 now. So I upgraded with a little extended booster deal right over here. It's great. I haven't seen my bars go down at all.
Yeah,
just like the team is improving, I'm improving.
Exactly. So. You've been much more consistent this stream so far. So yeah, hopefully that continues.
Right, but because Caleb's in charge of it now, he gets the number 1 spot, which is good. Focus on him. You don't need to focus on me. My wife got on me about my hair for this family photo shoot today. I got to go get a haircut. I mean, my hairline's receding and everything, but I still got to get a haircut. Anyways.
Yeah, I think other thoughts on receiving core. I do have a couple more. Seeing Greer in the game was a little surprising, and he was in there a good amount in kind of the second team, I guess, call it receiving bunch. So we didn't really get to see a whole lot from him, but that was just kind of an interesting development to see him out there. And yeah, good to see Mac get the ball in space to be able to show that he is fast and able to make guys miss. So that was good. And yeah, I think we're finally seeing the core receivers kind of show what they're capable of, and so hopefully McCann's able to kind of take this all in and just keep dialing up the game plans for how we're going to get these guys open going forward. And I would have liked to see more targets to Trey Watson, just because we've just seen his potential, and man, he's just such a big target and just valuable. But glad he got the touchdown, but yeah, definitely would have liked to see a couple more go his way.
Shoot, with Jalen Moss playing like this, there's not going to be a lot of targets to go around.
Yeah,
which
that's
I'm not
true.
complaining about it. Defensively, it was written in the books before the game started. Dean Clark led the way in tackles. That's what was going to happen. However, Maurice Norris led the way in solo tackles. My one thought on the defense, 10 points, great. They did their job. They got a lot of stops. No sacks, though, and no interceptions. And I don't believe we forced any fumbles either. After we forced 8 turnovers, I'd like to see at least one. I don't know what exactly to say about that. Just something I was hoping to see. I actually was expecting to see that coming off a game like that. So, and especially no sacks. That hurts a little bit. But let me say this: it was Kent State. Their offense was so slow developing. It was weird to me, and so I didn't know exactly how I didn't know if we were meant to play it slow, because it didn't look like our D line was getting off the ball really fast. Kind of like we were looking to see what was going to happen and then react. But when we broke pressure, we got there and we were fine. But it was so odd to see Kent State and the way that they played offense. Very slow developing, Le'Veon Bell type of running. Like, let's see if the hole opens up type of running. I don't know. Talk to me about this and what you thought.
Yeah, defense was interesting. I know I kind of noticed some personnel stuff. I'm sure most people did. Lockridge was kind of in and out for some of the game, and Azilian Hamilton kind of stepping up and taking Lockridge's place on defense, because I think Cam got beat on the 40-yard pass completion early in the first quarter that prolonged the Kent drive, and I think that was the touchdown drive if I'm not mistaken. So I know that he's kind of been going through it a bit, especially with coaching staff too. So yeah, hopefully he's able to get that figured out, because I mean we definitely need Cam and Carlton and Hamilton too to really be working together. And be the strength of this defense that we know that they can be. And yeah, I noticed Raymond Scott was in the game a lot in place of Malachi Langley. So yeah, I don't know if he's earning that time or if Langley was banged up at all. I didn't see any indication that he was. So yeah, just kind of interesting, that Ray Scott's kind of working his way back into the starting lineup, or at least being a big contributor, because I think he was up there, second in the team. He had 5 total tackles, so definitely contributing there on defense.
No, he looked good. He stuffed a couple guys.
Mm-hmm.
Quick side note. I did not realize Malachi Langley was wearing number 9. I'm slow, first of all. But if anyone knows the story about number 9, you know that it's significant at Fresno State. So I didn't realize Malachi was the guy wearing number 9.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun to see. Okay, Caleb, we're talking about defense, and defense protects our house. Talk to me about Managex and what they can do for your properties and how they protect you. I don't know if they protect you or not.
Well, I can. Yeah, I mean, they're a full-service property management company. So yeah, if you have a single-family home or apartment complex or office or industrial building in the Fresno or Clovis area, they can help you with protecting your asset by providing property management services and all that entails with that. So if you're interested in that, or if you just have questions in general, you can visit their website, managex.net, and see if their services can help you out.
Or message Caleb.
Or message me directly.
Get you in contact with them, that's for sure. Or you can message me. I can get you in contact with them. Either way. Check out Managex, big supporters of Fresno State and supporters of Beware Bulldogs. So thank you, Managex. All right. Let's talk special teams really quick, Caleb. What did you think of the performance special teams wise? By the way, I didn't see Carson out there.
Yeah, I think any day you can keep your punter off the field is going to be a good day. So, we saw Dylan Lynch kick off a lot of balls, had a couple touchbacks, and the special teams 2-point conversion, they worked.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dylan was he 1 for 1 on kicks, or did he miss one? I can't remember. Should have those.
I think he kicked a 40-yarder in the fourth.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I mean, 3. You're going one for 1, and kicking them off. Overall this was good. So anytime we're keeping our special teams off the field, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say. Just returning wise, Jalen Gill had 3 kickoff returns, along with 25, 57 total. He looked better. Dylan Lynch went 1 for 1. So he went from tying the record for field goals attempted in a game to just 1. And he hit it. That's big. He did go 6 for 6 for PATs. That's always good. The 2-point conversion. So not much to say about special teams. And that's what you like to hear. When no one's talking about special teams, that means nothing bad happened. So we've talked to Carson and long snappers in the past, Westbury and guys. When you're talking about special teams, it's bad. You don't want to be talking about special teams. So
I guess the only special teams question I have is about Abe Montano, just because Dylan Lynch is seemed like he should be the guy going forward. So I don't know if Abe is still recovering or what his situation is, but I mean, do you think this is Lynch's job to lose at this point, and it's going to be tough for Abe to see the field?
I think so. I think I don't exactly know when Abe's coming back, but I saw he was dressed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think you switch things up right now. Dylan's playing fine. If he struggles, then I think you make a change, but there's no need right now. Just let Dylan keep going. I like Abe, and I know he's a great kicker, but I don't know. I don't think you do that to Dylan and the team right now when they got a thing going on right now. Andrew Wren does add about the defense. They gave up 15 yards in 19 plays in the second half. Total domination, if true. I don't have that number in front of me, but yeah, that's unbelievable in the second half. I don't believe, did Kent State score in the second half? I don't have it in front. No, they didn't score in the second half. So, I mean, there's not much you can't complain about much this game, and we don't want to complain. The guys played great. They got the job done. They did what they're supposed to do, and they put 4 quarters together. Would I've liked to seen a touchdown in the fourth quarter? Yeah, maybe. But we're working on running the clock out. So, we're running the ball, and we got a 40-yard field goal out of it. I'm happy. Speaking of happy, Givli Winery keeps me happy. I just came from there with taking family photos. If you need wine, come on out to Givli Winery. I was told I need to spell it Ziveli. It looks like Zavelli, but Givli Winery located on Biola Avenue, just north of Shaw. Take Shaw, go west, make a right on Biola. If you're out by me, hey, hit me up. Then we're going east. But Saturdays and Sundays, noon to 5. On the weekdays, they are open by appointment only. So shoot them a call or an email. Email is givliwinery@gmail.com. They also have wood fire brick oven pizza for sale there from noon to 5 on Saturday and Sunday. A lot of fun. We had trivia night. They had trivia night last night. I know it was on game night, but said it was a lot of fun, and it was geography. So I don't know how you guys feel about geography, but they had a crowd out there, and the Fresno State game was on. So Givli Winery on Biola Avenue, just north of Shaw. Check them out. Big fans of Fresno State athletics, and beware of Bulldogs. Cheers. I see from Chris Lake. Cheers. All right, Caleb, let's get to our play of the game. Beware of Bulldogs play of the game. I have mine, Caleb. What's yours?
So I am going to take the first touchdown, the long pass to Eric Brooks, because I think it showed, Mikey can hit Eric actually in stride and not where he's having to adjust and kind of fall back. So I think that was huge for setting the tone for the game, and just kind of building confidence for Mikey too going forward with, being able to step into the throw, have some time. And I think he took a hit on that one too, which he's taking a lot of hits these days. But I think that was huge just for the team to just build momentum and confidence and hit someone in stride on a deep ball, because we've kind of been waiting for that one. And yeah, we haven't even really talked about Eric Brooks much this game, but he was his normal, dependable self this game. So want to give him some love here too. So I'm taking the first touchdown to Brooks.
Yeah, he was good. It was that set the tone early. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take Jalen Moss catch.
Yeah.
I love that play. I think it was the Jalen Moss coming out party. I was thinking about taking the Jalen Gill to Elijah Gilliam pass, which I think was a great play. I probably took the sails out of Kent State, but I just really like that Joe Moss play. So I'm taking that one. If you guys have play of the game, leave it in the chat. Defensively, offensively, whatever you guys would like. We're happy to read that. You have the Trey Watson touchdown. That was later on in the game. But I think those out of those 3 plays, those are good picks. You can't go wrong with any of those plays.
Absolutely.
Let's get to another one of our sponsors. We are sponsored by the Vine Church in Fresno. So if you're looking to strengthen your community or support group, check out the Vine Church in Fresno on Shaw, just west of Grantland. They meet on Sundays at 10 a.m. I go there. We have a great time. Pastor Greg is a great guy. I mean, my wife and I were looking for a church that was in our community. We drove past it on Shaw there. We tried it out. Everyone was so kind, so welcoming. Pastor speaks truth, not my truth, not everyone else's truth, but the truth. And they invited us to lunch. We had a great time. So we've been attending ever since. We've enjoyed it so much. They have gatherings like potlucks. The old school potlucks are back, man. They're coming back. So if you're looking for a community or you're interested, come join us Sundays, 10 a.m. at the Vine Church on Shaw, just west of Grantland. all you need is yourself. You check it out. Let me know. I'll be there. They have me doing announcements now, Caleb, but they should not give me a mic. You guys know this. Don't give me a mic. So I don't know why they did that, but we've been having a good time. So thank you for the Vine for supporting Blue Air Bulldogs. And I saw a couple members at a couple of my church friends at the game the other day. So they're supporters of the Dogs as well. So it was a lot of fun. Cool. Chuck B says the Devo double smother sack.
That was a good one. I'm glad someone remembered that because that was just a funny play where, yeah, he pretty much tackled both the quarterback and the running back on the same motion. So yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, Devo just looked like a man amongst boys out there. He was the dude. I forget how big he is sometimes. Mm-hmm. You look at him like, okay, number 5. You know, I'm still getting used to the numbers being all over the field now. Number 5, oh my gosh, that's Devo. Oh, he's massive. Oh man. So I really liked what I saw from Devo. Anyways, they didn't credit him with a sack, but it was a great play.
Yep.
All right, let's get to our player of the game. Blue Air Bulldogs player of the game. Caleb, go for it.
I don't think we can take anyone other than Jalen Moss, or at least I can't. So I think this one's pretty easy. You know, solidified himself as a go-to target for Mikey Keene going forward. So huge game, awesome catch, and hopefully there's many more years of that from Jalen Moss.
I agree. Chuck B says he's got to give the D props, only giving up 10 points. So in the last 2 games, yeah, that's pretty good. You could name them player of the game. I'm going to give it to Mikey Keene. This is the first time I've given player of the game to Mikey Keene. 24 for 31, 325 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, avoided sacks, no sacks. I totally agree with you. Jalen Moss coming out party. But you could also say the same for Mikey Keene. We saw him play well in Purdue, but I think this is the game where and we talked about this in the preview, he really needed to understand the offense, see the field open up, hit open wide receivers, throw wide receivers open. I think he did that this game. Once you're going to have those throws where you say, ooh, force that in there, missed him, or whatnot. But I thought Mikey did a good job. Huge confidence booster going into Mountain West Conference play. I like what I saw, so I'm going to give it to Mikey Keene. Both guys are very deserving of player of the game. So I don't know. Anything you have to add, Caleb?
No arguments there. And yeah, so seeing continued growth and momentum for Mikey is going to be important, especially as we're getting into conference play, and opponents are going to get tougher, and travel weeks are going to get tougher too. So yeah, definitely good to see.
We're going to get to the Mountain West scoreboard right now. So I'm going to give you some time to pull that up because I didn't warn you about that. I always forget about it. And I'm going to tell you about our sponsor, Flora Flower Co. Flora Flower Co. is a local flower shop, modern, unique, who supports local growers. Their flowers come from local growers. They also have gifts. It's your one-stop shop for gifts. When I get my wife stuff, I go to Flora. They have great stuff. Store hours, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., located on Shepherd and Willow. You can also order your flowers online for pickup, or you can come in person. They have a florist in the store. So I am terrible with keeping up with the trends and what my wife enjoys when it comes to flowers. It's always changing. It's tough. I know, you guys, it's hard. But their florists there create something for you, and it's very special. My wife always loves it. If you like subscription for whoever, for your loved one, they can do that. You can sign up for subscriptions, comes with free delivery. Use code Fresno15 at checkout if you're ordering online. That's Fresno, the number 15, for 15% off. That lets them know that we sent you, and it helps out the show. So use code Fresno15 at checkout for 15% off. That's Flora Flower Co. All right, Mountain West scoreboard, Caleb. So Boise State beat San Diego State by 3, 34-31. I put it out on X. I was not impressed with. We don't have to go into it in depth on these games, Caleb, but I just wanted to say I was not impressed with quarterback play for either team. Both teams want Maiden and Green to be great throwers. That's fine. They need to get better. You just need to run the ball, you guys. San Diego State, you're known for this. Go run the ball. Maiden can run option plays, things like that. I mean, I don't know if anyone else watched Taylor Green play last year, but he's still struggling to throw the ball. You have two amazing running backs and a decent O-line. Run the ball. I don't know what's going on. It's obviously it's coaching. Or just run the ball. Granted, they did score 34 and 31 points. So quarterback play was poor, though.
Yeah, I agree. Taylor Green still is not accurate. And it's probably a bad sign for San Diego State when their quarterback is their leading rusher. I mean, 16 carries for 85 yards for Maiden. So probably not the formula they want to have every week.
Right. Air Force took it to San Jose State, like we mentioned, 45-20. It was close for a little while, but man, Air Force looked good. I hate that triple option. Then of course we beat Kent State. New Mexico beat Massachusetts in overtime, 34-31. They're bad. Colorado State beats Middle Tennessee State 31-23. A lot of people that I listened to said Colorado State probably not going to win this game because Middle Tennessee State had a decent team. They had that big game against Colorado. That game against Colorado, yes, it spoke a lot about what Colorado is or isn't, but it said a lot of what Colorado State is. They are not a bad team. So as much as I thought, they were going to struggle, they can play. So Colorado State, watch out for them. Wyoming beats a good App State team, 22-19. I think they played Texas last week. Texas struggled against them. They didn't put up a ton of points. And then they beat a good App State team. Caleb, hop in whenever you feel like it, if you have anything to say about those games.
Yeah, now that I'm reminded of Wyoming's resume up to this point, I think I'm a little bit more worried because I'd forgotten that they had beat Texas Tech in overtime. And then, handled Portland State and kept it close against Texas. So, they're definitely building a pretty good resume here. And if I remember correctly, their quarterback's just a tough player. Peasley. So, that's how about this stat line? 5 for 15 for 31 yards in a victory. That's just an ugly way to win a game.
Nevada played Texas State. They lost. Texas State wins 35-24. Two high-powered offenses they played back-to-back, Kansas and Texas State. They're in it. Oh, I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to that game. But Utah State lost to James Madison 45-38. UNLV beat UTEP 45-28. And then Hawaii beat New Mexico State 20-17. I mean, Utah State, it's a good score, high-scoring game against James Madison. That's a good James Madison team. UNLV took care of UTEP. Man, the Mountain West looks better than I thought. I thought the Mountain West, we said they were going to be a little bit better than last year, but after seeing the games, I thought, we're down again this year. Mountain West is not bad this year. We have some good teams. So, I'll get to you guys real quick. San Jose coaches look clueless in the second half. By Mendoza D85. They did. It was bad. With that offense, granted, Air not taking anything away from Air Force's defense, but you were with them. And San Jose State lost it. Andrew Wren, I'd be worried about Wyoming if we hadn't shut them out 2 years ago. We have had their number. And then Ryan Hoyle, I thought there was a new anti-chop blocking rule. I saw Air Force chop blocking on every play. I need to look into that. I didn't see the chop. I did watch highlights. I didn't pay attention to the chop blocking and things like that. And Andrew Wren said they're grandfathered in if you run the option. I think they put up, it was like a interesting stat about Air Force, or like a weird stat, like in Air Force is no red shirting, no NIL. Yeah, and people were saying this isn't, and we all knew this. You don't need to put this up anyways. But that's why they are a true developmental program, and they've done a great job. Air Force. I think Air Force and Wyoming are definitely, I'd say, the two best besides us. And then on our schedule, the one to worry about besides Wyoming is going to be Boise. We should handle everyone else. But, we always have that game, and we're ranked this year. I like what you guys said in the chat. I mean, we're ranked this week. It's mental. So let's focus on Nevada. Don't read into the hype. Don't listen to this. It's too late if you're a player and you got this far. We're just gonna hype you guys up. Go win. But no, I do think we got to take care of Nevada. They can score points. I don't know how they figured it out, but they've done it the past 2 games. So, anyways, closing statements, Caleb, about the Bulldogs win over Kent State and moving into Nevada.
Overall, great team performance and a good kind of statement to end the non-con on. And going into 8 tough conference games now, Dogs can't overlook anyone. And, it's a exciting place to be. Dogs won 13 in a row. We'd expect that to continue and just to keep this thing rolling. So, the Jeff Teffer coaching staff is going to have these guys prepared, and I think it's going to be an exciting ride, and we'll see what happens each week. But we are only taking it 1 week at a time, so we don't need to get too far ahead of ourselves. And so now we're just worried about the Wolfpack coming to town.
I'm going to add that I took the under and for Kent State to cover. That neither hit. I should took the over and Fresno State to cover. Just want to let everyone know the opening line. Fresno 24.5-point favorites over Nevada at home. Games on FS1 starts at 7:30. I'm taking the Dogs minus 24.5. I'm telling you right now, before we get to the preview, we're doing it. And also apologize for no get to know. Things just didn't work out time-wise with our contact. So apologize for that. We smoked them. So there, we didn't need to get to know them too well, I guess. No, I don't know. So we are going to do our best to get somebody for Reno, Nevada this week. So stay tuned for that. Caleb, thank you so much for doing this week in and week out, 3 days a week, last week too, but 3 days a week. And I'm having so much fun doing this. It makes life so much easier when the Dogs are winning. That is really fun to do.
It sure is.
And thank you guys for always tuning in and being there and having a good time with us. We have a great time. You guys make this show. So we just get to read what you guys say. So thank you as always. I appreciate it. And thank you to our sponsors. On to Reno, Nevada. Stay safe, stay healthy. God bless. Cheers. And as always, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.